dear students, I hope you all are fine. I am your chemistry teacher. So in the previous video we have started chapter number 6, that is metals and non-metals, and in that video we have discussed about some metals and then its property with some exceptions. So today we are going to start our next topic, that is non-metals. So what are the non-metals? Non-metals exist in solid or gaseous state, and we know that metals exist in the solid state, and there is one exception, that in case of mercury it exists in the liquid state. So non-metals exist in solid or gaseous state. So non-metals show electronegativity, or you can say that electronegative behavior. What is electronegative here? Electronegative means tendency to gain electrons. So those elements, those are attracting the electrons, or you can say that those are gaining the electrons, that are called the anions. So anions are formed by the non-metals. So non-metals are dull and soft. For example, chlorine, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen and fluorine. So these are the non-metals. Next we will see its properties. So what are the properties of the non-metals? First property is solids or gases. So non-metals exist in the solid as well as in the gaseous state, but there is an exception, that is bromine. Bromine is a non-metal, but it exists in the liquid state. So this is the exception in case of solid or gaseous state. So next one is non-lustrous. You know that luster means shine. So non-lustrous means dull. So non-metals appear dull, but there is an exception, that is iodine and graphite. These are the non-metals, but they show shine, or you can say that these are lustrous in nature. So next property is non-malleable. So what is non-malleable? Means not beaten into sheets. So non-metals cannot be beaten into thin sheets. So next property is non-ductile. What is non-ductile? Ductile means drawn into wires. So non-ductile means not drawn into wires. So non-metals are non-ductile in nature. Next one is soft. So next property of the non-metals is they are soft. There is one exception in this case also, that is diamond. Diamond is a non-metal, but it is the hardest substance. Okay. Next property is electronegative. So what is electronegative? Electronegative means tendency to gain electrons or the formation of the anions, but there is an exception in this case also. In case of hydrogen, it is a non-metal, but it forms cation. Next property is bad conductor of heat and electricity. So mainly the non-metals having bad conductor of heat and electricity, but there is an exception in case of carbon in the form of graphite. Carbon in form of graphite is a good conductor of heat and electricity. So next property is non-sonorous. Sonorous means sound, but non-sonorous means that are not producing any type of sound. So non-metals are non-sonorous in nature. So next property is electrons in the valence shell, or you can say that electrons in the outermost shell. So in case of non-metals, there are 4, 5, 6 or 7 electrons in the outermost shell, or you can say that in the valence shell. Next one is the valency. So non-metals mainly show the valencies 1, 2, 3 and 4. So these are the valencies that are shown by the non-metals, but there is an exception, that is in case of inert gases. You know what are the inert gases? Helium, argon, krypton, xenon. These are the inert gases, but these shows valency 0. because their outermost electrons filled, means its valence shell is fully filled, so they can never be combined with the other element, so their valency is 0. So there is another point, that is non-metals like carbon, sulfur, phosphorus and nitrogen. These shows the variable valencies. Next point is acidic oxides. Acidic oxides, so non-metals form the acidic oxides like nitrous oxide, carbon monoxides. These are the acidic oxides that are formed by the non-metals. From these properties you can say that the non-metals properties having opposite as that of the metal properties. For example, metals show malleable, ductility, sonority, then good conductor of heat and electricity, electropositive nature, but non-metals show non-malleability, non-ductility, non-sonorous and electronegative behavior. Okay.